You're listening to The Middle Age Gamers from Dimension X.
Episode 18 of Magdx. I am GI Gamer 1981 on Instagram and Facebook. Please like, subscribe to me, and this guy over here in this brightly orange gear right here, and hopefully not sponsored someday. Come on, NOS Energy Drink, get your business together. Is Trish Nabarra. He is the author of the Video Game Collector's Field Guide and the graphic artist for Premium Edition games. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, we might as well break into the fact that this is kind of a repeat of an episode 18. This is episode 18, take 2.
Part two.
Every once in a while, we just want to like podcast for ourselves and entertain ourselves and screw you guys. So we record, and then we purposely inject some technical difficulties so that it's impossible to upload our episodes, which happened last week, which is why we're so late in uploading. But
we are. I have a new podcast machine, and what happened was I was playing with the buttons again, trying to figure out how to use these things, and I basically muted my audio. So basically, I was doing those Japanese kung fu movies. I was like, really sad podcasting. Well, you wanna tell us about your Black Friday sales, sir?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's part of my pickup, so we'll wait until we do pickups. How about that?
Oh, little spoiler for you guys. I will promote something for you that you're also working on. This beautiful book right here. Why don't you tell everyone about it?
Yeah, so I'm currently working on the Video Game Collector's Field Guide, as you can see right there. That notebook that he has in his hands is just one little part of the 2,400 pages that is going to be the 4 volumes that make up that one book, if you want to call it a single book. It's a series. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. It's a field guide. So it's visual libraries of you name the system up until the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, going all the way back to the Odyssey days and Fairchild Channel F. So if you are a collector of said console, this is a product for you. Shows the entire library visually, and in the back on the index, the list checklist, so you can keep track of what you have seen, what you've played, what your rating for it is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yep.
It's really cool, and he has them on his website that you can get currently. So you want to give him the link to your store, sir?
Yeah, it's vgcollectorguide.com. Right now I have about 4 dozen different systems available for purchase right now if you want to go on there. I try to make it as cheap as possible without breaking my bank, because I'm using my own materials here, but it basically comes out to 22 cents a page. So yeah, it's not too bad. But when you're talking about like the PlayStation 2 library, which is about 1,800 games, that equates to about a $40 notebook. But I mean, if you're a hardcore collector of like PlayStation 2, that's something that it would really enhance your collecting anyway. So I really don't feel bad about charging that much, especially how much work went into it.
Absolutely. And like, even when Ben saw it, he was like super excited about it.
Oh, so, yeah. He was super eager and like willing to pay that price, because he's a hardcore collector. I actually sold 2 of those PlayStation 2 guides to just his game store. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to be doing pickups, of course. These will be exclusively on YouTube, just to be aware of that. And also we're doing a Facebook live stream on my GI Gamer, so you'll see mine on there, so it's exclusive. We're going to be doing also FOMO collecting and how much is too much for limited editions. Mario RPG came out this week. We're going to give our thoughts on that. beautiful gem of a game. A Bars Night at the Movies, which he did Critters 2, Little
Yes,
Critter
I
here.
did.
This is my friend Harry, which I enjoy. My son named him that. And then do reviews influence sales. And one of the things we're going to be talking about is the Sony Portal that just came out, and also corrections. So to start off,
Yeah.
we're going to be doing our pickups. We always start with the man, the myth, the legend of Bar over here. And what did you get for these last couple weeks since we made a mistake?
Yeah, no worries. It's still not that much for me because I haven't been picking up a whole lot, but we'll just go ahead and show my second camera, which it's not. It's going to be a whole lot messier than it is in the past couple weeks because I had kind of a little bit of a photo shoot for a Black Friday promo. So here's a whole bunch of premium edition games with a bunch of toys, but yeah, well, first off, I'll mention that Premium Edition Games is having a Black Friday sale where if you spend a certain amount, I think it's $120, you get a free Standard Edition, which is a $40 value. And then if you spend, I think it's $240, you get a free Retro Edition game, which is a $60 value. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, really good. I love your games. The games there are amazing and worth all that money for sure.
Yeah, and right now we like a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't like available for purchase is actually available right now. Typically, the stuff you would have to like find us at conventions to be able to buy this stuff, but now we have it available for purchase, including two of our newest ones that are just shipping. I'm supposed to be getting my copies tomorrow in the mail of Love 3 and Eagle Island Twist, which are amazing games.
Eagle Island is amazing.
Yeah,
so
Eagle Island's incredible.
Love 3 is awesome too. I love the box art for it too. Looks amazing.
Yes, yeah, everything just worked out so great for those. But my first pickup, which I'll show here, is my trophy for the Magdx Cup that we had. Yeah, golden mustache. Magdx Cup 2023 that we had. We had a competition between Ben's Game Zone and the Magdx team. It was 6 versus 6 in 5 different games. We played Toe Jam and Earl. How high you could get, what the highest level you could get in 10 minutes. We played Mario Kart, the best time trial time on Royal Raceway. We played the Nintendo World Championship, highest score. Played the Nintendo, Tetris the Grandmaster Ace, how many lines you can get in, a single playthrough. And then what was the last one? I can't remember all of a sudden.
There was Nintendo World Championships.
Well, I said that one.
Let's see. There was Nintendo World Championships. There was Tetris.
It was bowling, League Bowling on Neo Geo,
which I sucked at. Oh my god, Neo Geo Sports. I am terrible. Terrible.
But yeah,
it was super fun.
Yeah, and it was a blast. We had a lot of people over, and to anyone who's listening right now that came over, thank you so much for coming over. That was a really good time. But Team Magdx pulled it out, and we've got the trophies this year. So suck it.
nice little mustache. But what was really funny too that I want to bring up on that was there was a Mario Kart turf war going on between our friend Alex and Zach, and it's still going on. It's still going on currently right now, which is hilarious. I did a funny prank on that too. Zach beat his score, and so I tried to get in on the fun. And I like clipped art myself into the picture to say, hey, I'm the one that with the best score, and then Alex didn't fall for it, of course. But we tried. We tried really hard. Super happy about this. Too funny, man. What other pickups you got?
So, of course, Super Mario RPG came out.
Ooh.
Picked it up, midnight release. The store that is over by my house just so happened to be one of the only 2 stores in the Omaha area that did a midnight release. So I got it a little bit early. And then thank you to GI Gamer here. Good looking out. Had them hold this for me, the show 2013. Or
I was looking for
2023. I'm a huge baseball fan. I've been waiting to get this used, and it finally came in.
Yeah, and then finally picked up too.
Yeah,
I have to show you.
And then finally, I got a Super 64 Eon. so that I can play Nintendo 64 games on my HD television. Those are my pickups, sir.
All right, let's pop over to mine. I have a lot, so I apologize. Exclusively on YouTube, just to let you know, and also my live stream. So, and sorry that it's kind of glitching out. I don't know what's going on, but I got Kid Chameleon. Kid Chameleon right here is the game I had, but it was broken, so I had to buy a new one. So I wanted to put it on my Polymega. Toe Jam and Earl playing on Funkatron, same thing. I had the game loose, so I wanted to get a case for it. So Ben sold me a case. Golden Axe 2. This one I didn't have, which I was surprised I didn't have it. I went in my collection. I wanted to play some beat 'em ups, and I was like, "Where the hell is Golden Axe 2?" And I thought I had it. And I was digging around, and I couldn't find it, so I had that one as well. Solicious Snake is one of my favorite bad guys in Metal Gear Solid, and my partner in crime over here gave me a figure of him, which is freaking awesome. Looks amazing. So I collect kind of the Metal Gear figures as well, so I'm happy to have that in my collection. I also got a Bars Game & Watch on accident by Ben's store, so I like the Game & Watches, but I wanted the Mario and the Zelda, so it flips over, and the other side has the Zelda one and this, and I was scared my Zelda was like broken, but I guess it's not. It's the screen is still good to go, which I thought was crazy. The other three there are Japanese GameCube games. One of them is a exclusive Nintendo Fun Club for Japan, which was the Zelda collection that we got in the States. And it's pretty cool. I just thought it looked really awesome. And, I have a lot of Zelda games, so I thought that was kind of a cool exclusive that I could keep around. I do have a Japanese little disc I could play it with, so I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm hoping it's the Japanese versions of the games. On the bottom there is a PlayStation controller. I wanted to get a couple for my Polymega. By the way, they're shipping out now. And also, good rumor for you guys, an update. They said yesterday that they'll have at least 1,000 in stock once they get the pre-orders out. So if you want one, I would highly suggest putting in a pre-order for it. Last but not least is you see that I bought 3 Shinobi, Revenge of Shinobis, and you're like, what the hell is that? Like, what is going on with that weirdness? And what it is that they used to, and you watch my GF Gamer video in there, they had 3 revisions because Sega was doing copyright infringement on a lot of people's IPs. So the first one is a Rev Zero, and it has Spider-Man, Batman, the Hulk that turns into the Terminator, Godzilla, and the person on the intro logo is for a ninja that's basically in Japan. So those and then there's a Rev 1 where they fixed Spider-Man because Spider-Man finally got licensed by Sega because they made a game. So they fixed him in that one. And then the third one is where they took out all the copyrights because their copyright time was over. They had to make and you can see it on the virtual console, they made a pink Spider-Man, a pink naked Spider-Man. And then they also took Godzilla and then did like a kid, like it was all bones, like a bone version of Godzilla, which is so hilarious. Weird. Super weird. I also joined the Eon Club. Nice. I saw his and I was like, I should get one. And so I went on eBay and for $60 I won a bid. No one bidded on it. I won this and an M Classic, which was pretty awesome.
There you go.
I got a couple more here. This one, I thought it was coming out in March, but it finally came out. This is the Walking Dead Satan Sinners Chapter 2 for PSVR 2. This game is awesome in VR. You can like grab zombies, you can stab them, you can go through, and it's like a survival game where you have to find stuff to keep you alive, which is really cool. Super fun. I'm not like, you remember I was trying to go for every game on PSVR. I'm not doing it this time. Only the games that I want are the ones I'm going to get. And so far, all the zombie games are the best games on there, so I am just buying basically zombie games right now. Next one is called Fade to Silence. I don't know what this is. It looked really cool. I thought it was a survival horror game. Kyle suggested it to me, so I trust.
I've never seen that before.
Horror. I've never seen it before either. It's the first time I've ever seen it, and it looked really cool. And you have to survive in the snow, so like your health will freeze up if you freeze yourself to death, things like that. I thought the thing, that's why I thought it basically the premise of it is. So I thought that was pretty cool. And as you well know, I'm a big Dead Island fan. And I got the definitive collection. Funny story. They were ribbing me at the thing, right? You know how this goes. You get one of these from a used game, and the code doesn't work. So the guys were ribbing me about it. I bought this for $15, and I'm like, I bet you these work. And they're like, oh, no, it's not going to work. Someone used it. I came home, and guess what? No one used it.
Nice.
So please check the codes when you guys do games. So I got Dead Island 2 for free and Riptide. And then, if you don't even know this, there is a variant to this. There is a beat-em-up game of Dead Island.
What?
That's on there. So
Retro Revenge.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted it, because they don't have a physical copy of that game, and you can't get the code anymore. So if you get the code, you can get it. So I bought that too, which is pretty cool. Those are my pickups. Of course, I picked up Mario RPG as well, but he already showed it off. So, that's basically all my pickups. And like I said,
very nice.
The video looked kind of glitchy. I apologize. Something's up with my camera. I'll get it fixed next time. Next, we're going to talk about is FOMO collecting and how much is too much for limited editions. And what we mean by that is that so many people in the era of like limited run and those type of companies, everyone is like worried about not getting something that's going to go up in price. Like they're trying to figure out which ones are going to be the rare ones. Like for example, Godzilla on the PS4. No one knew that was coming. Little Samsons, or what you remember what Poop Slinger, like weird stuff.
Who could forget?
So we thought it'd be a good discussion about FOMO collecting, because we were in that era. You know what I mean? Remember when we used to work as a team to get games for you when we had limited run? So I want to get your thoughts on the current state of FOMO collecting and how much is too much for limited editions.
Yeah. So, starting off, obviously I work for Premium Edition Games. We're not a limited company. We're a small print company. So, I mean, some of that FOMO, we kind of like, it's inevitable. Especially with our retro editions, which we don't make that many of. People feel like they need to get them right away. I would hope people actually like open them up, because like our retro editions, we don't do it for the FOMO sake. We do it for the sake of like giving extra stuff, like making supplemental manuals and soundtracks and like just all this other cool stuff. So I'm hoping whenever people actually buy those retro editions, they're not buying it on speculation. They're actually buying it to enjoy it. A good example of like what I'm talking about. John Hancock actually did a really good video, like a review of a couple of our retro editions for Love 3 and Eagle Island Twist, which just came out. And he was showing off like all of the, just the care and attention to detail that goes into these things. And I hope that people actually open them up and see for themselves like what he's talking about. If you don't want to open up your own copies, then certainly go to his channel and look at his reviews to see what I'm talking about. And maybe that'll like sway you toward actually opening it up. As far as like my own FOMO collecting, I used to do it with limited run games for sure, because like they were the first ones to really, I wouldn't say the first ones, but the first ones to really like lean into the FOMO. They upfront told you that there was only going to be like 1,200 or 1,500 games in a certain print run. So, of course, they're going to sell out like super fast. And they didn't really hit the fever pitch until they got, what was it? Night Trap. That like indie like horror cult classic game that everyone loves from the Sega CD. It's kind of infamous for having like, stirred up all this
teenage
trouble on
boobs.
like, whatever. I mean, it wasn't even like boobs. It was just like, girls like during a sleepover or something like that, being terrorized by some like weird things.
Friday the 13th, basically.
Yeah, it was so stupid. I mean, like,
so
I think it was Joe Lieberman who was a congressman at the time that like championed this whole like crusade against video game violence and stuff. You know, at that time there was no ESRB, no rating system for video games, so that came out of that era, and because of Night
My mom
Trap.
won't care. I think it's funny because my mom never would have cared even with the. I remember one time when they first did the ESRB on it, my mom took me to a store and I picked it up. Like the guy like gave it to me, like here you go. And I went to the thing and there was this lady behind the counter. Oh, you cannot buy this. And my mom got really upset. She's like, "Why? You're just going to try to censor my son all the time?" It's like, "Well, you can buy it." And she's like, "That's the dumbest thing ever. I'm literally sitting next to you, and you're saying that I have to pay for it." So she's like, my mom was like, "Hand me the money," and like, and she did really snarky. She was like, and then she like, I had to hand her the money, and then she's like, she's counting it slow, like, "Here you go. I'm sorry, your kids are freaking censored.
Oh, no.
Sorry." And so my mom just like went off on it, but like, I thought it was hilarious because at the time when they were doing all the censorship stuff, it was like, for example, like 2 Live Crew, like Uncle Luke. They got their record banned right around the same time, and they put those parental advisory stickers on the actual recordings and stuff. So it was inevitable that was going to happen. But the thing is, like, even like, you know what's funny? VHSs, I never seen any. I didn't see any age thing on those. We literally could go to Blockbuster, pick up a horror movie, and there was no questions asked.
Well, it wasn't on the front, but it was on the back. You know, the PG-13 or R.
Well, like the rated R and all that stuff, but like who really like gives? I've literally like walked into movies like that where, okay, I walked into Showgirls. Excuse me, yes, I had to see my Bay girl, Bayside High girl. You know, I wish it was Thiessen, but you know, it's a good second round there. So I went to it and it was rated like, no joke, it was rated like, I think it was like, I can't, like, it wasn't X, but it was something right underneath, like it's like the most horrible rating ever on a movie.
Yeah,
and I went to it with that rating
or whatever.
Yeah, which that was hilarious. But with me and with FOMO collecting, I'm guilty of it. I do it all the time. Like Amiibos. Oh my god, I was literally like at appointments and I was telling people, "Hey, can you wait a second while I get this Greninja freaking Toys R Us exclusive, or go to Toys R Us in the morning?" I remember one time you went in a 7-inch snowstorm to go to Target to get a Rosalina.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that was the thing.
My irritation with it is like, why do you buy limited editions and you're not going to open it? That's the whole purpose and premise of them. My Resident Evil ones, I took out all the statues. Some people are like, just leave them in the box. What's funny is Street Fighter 6 I got from a friend from our collector group. He gave it to me for $10, and he's like, "I don't want anything inside. I just want the game." Like, why would you buy the limited edition if you didn't want all the cool stuff with it? It makes no sense. You could have went to the store and just bought the regular thing. And I think it's weird because I can never catch what the rarest game is. Never. As long as I've been collecting, I've never seen it. And I do feel like there's some influence to this based on YouTubers and things like that. I think they're like, no one cared about Little Samson until like No Fitch Game Chasers did that video where like, "Oh my god, I found the Holy Grail." And they weren't even really collecting at that time. So how do they know that was like the rarest game ever? It's just
And I mean, FOMO collecting is going to be a thing as long as there's no transparency. Like when it comes to like, you know, we talk about Amiibos. Everyone thought that those things were going to be limited. Well, they were to a point, but then, you know, like no one cares anymore. No one cares at all.
I remember when it first came out, everyone was making jokes about it. They were like, "Oh, that's the dumbest thing ever." And then when the first release came out, Nintendo, of course, like, well, no one wants them, so I'm just gonna make a small release. And I pre-ordered all of them, and I got the whole set. And I guess the Fire Emblem guy, everyone was mad about because they couldn't get a hold of him. And then it went out of control. I remember waiting in line at GameStop with you.
Yeah,
remember those horrible lines? "Oh, sorry, we're out."
Yeah. No, but I mean, like with Amiibos, I think they still would hold a value if Nintendo hadn't all but abandoned you know, Amiibo support in like all these games. So there, you know, with like Zelda, you see those spike every once in a while, and that's because the Zelda game comes out and there's Amiibo support. But you know, even like with the latest Mario Kart, the support isn't there, just like it was with the Wii U.
Yep.
And Mario Maker, like they abandoned amiibo support for Mario Maker as well. So, you know, you got all these toys, these like toys brought to life things. And this is what one thing that really irritates me about Nintendo. They have a really good idea. It's awesome for a while. Everyone enjoys the hell out of it. And then they're like, we're done with that. We'll forget about it. We don't care. We're not going to put any sort of effort, time, or money toward it anymore. So now you're just sitting there with something that a shell of what you loved. Street Pass, Mii's, Amiibos. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's okay. So like, I think all companies do that. Like, for example, I bought PSVR 2 and they were hyping it up as like, we're going to invest into it. This time is awesome.
Yeah.
We did all this cool res stuff. I have 2 games, like 2 physical games. That's it. Not Resident Evil. I won't consider Resident Evil because you have to like download the VR mode on that. But I have 2 games for it. Only 2. And it's like I like, am I getting Virtual Boy to part 2 to this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And these are the games that you can buy right now. Township. It's basically like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Okay.
And then you have Horizon Zero Dawn, aka Climbing Simulator. All you're doing the entire time is this.
Seriously?
It's not even a physical copy. Skate VR. You think like it'd be like Tony Hawk? No, it's your hands as a skateboard and you do tricks with it.
What?
Yeah, it's stupid. Then Light Brigade, which is awesome, and the Walking Dead game, which is awesome. Yeah. And what's so crazy about it is it could be like a survival horror like gem, you know, physically going into a horror house, doing all this crazy stuff. I love it. It's terrifying. Resident Evil looks amazing in it. Resident Evil 7 scared the holy crap out of me when I did VR with that. I was like, nope. Mm-hmm. You saw Home Sweet Home.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. But the problem is that they're so afraid to lose money that they just run off on it. Look at how many times Xbox done like weird controllers and stuff, and like they don't produce them anymore. Or Sony, like with which we'll be talking about later with the Portal. You know, like everyone's like, this is stupid, and then people invest into it, and then no one plays it again.
Yeah, and I know we're talking about FOMO, and we're kind of going off on a tangent here, but like, you know, FOMO. This is where like we fall for FOMO. And then we kind of learn our lesson because this keeps happening. So, like, is it really worth having the FOMO over when 98% of the time it's not going to be something that, you know, because FOMO typically is because of speculation, right? It's because you think that you're not going to be able to get something in the future that's going to be really sought after and really coveted. Well, 98% of the time, that's not the case. So, you know, unless you're buying everything, like some people we know, then you're not going to get it. You're not going to hit on that 2%.
My thing too is that like, FOMO, like they've been investing this into us as kids. Figures that were exclusive, mail orders exclusives, freaking baseball cards. Look for the hologram and those things. They've been injecting this into our systems because we're so feared of missing out. But I think it's a status thing now. I think it's converted to a status thing. Like they want people to come to your house and be like, I joke and call them dick pic collectors. Oh, look at what I got. Oh, check this out. I got this exclusive thing. And after a while, guess what? No one cares. And the final example of that is I got Mario 3 2 days early or a week early. And I was the coolest kid for a week until everyone got it. And then no one wanted to talk to me anymore. So those scenarios happen. I just feel like with me now, I don't care anymore. If I don't get it, I'm not going to stress myself out. It's too much like non-stress that I need like for it. If not, I'll find it later.
Exactly. If I don't get it during the window in which it's like, you know, commercially available, then it wasn't meant to be. Because, like, you know, and we were going to talk about this, or we did talk about this last week, you know, during the ghost recording. But we'll call it ghost recording.
Ghost recording.
Anyway, So we talked about the Analog Pocket and how, the initial release was white and black models. They sold out. Then they came out with the freaking glow in the dark model and the clear model, and they sold out. And then they had all the fantastic colors, and they sold out. And then now they've got we'll call it play it loud colors, and they were in stock for a while. I wasn't waiting there like hitting F5 refresh, trying to like get this thing like I used to, like I would have in the past. But I did want and got a Spice Orange Analog Pocket. But that's only after you told me that they were still in stock after like an hour and a half or something like that. But that whole thing is kind of irritating to me because of the lack of transparency. Do they owe us transparency? Probably not. But it is a little irksome that Analog Pocket or Analog itself has come out with all these different editions within a couple of months' time and not given any sort of indication that any more were coming. Because, obviously, like I bought the black one way back when. I waited like a year for it to come into stock, to actually ship to me.
Correct.
By the time I got it, I've used it maybe a handful of times, and now all of a sudden there's this orange one that I want. Had I known the orange one was going to be on the horizon, I wouldn't have bought the black one in the first place.
Because they want that money for sure.
Yeah, they do.
Because like that Turbo Duo, I don't think that sold well either.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
And I think their mindset is that, oh well, the Pocket's selling, we'll just keep rehashing the Pocket until no one wants it. Which is tough because the funny thing that I laugh at now is, I don't know, like they wrote when we were doing the Analog Pocket, I remember it vividly. They said that they weren't making any others, that this were the only ones that they were going to be producing. That's what they wrote on their website, which made people flip out about it.
Yeah.
And then they did a we got on the second hash. Remember they did the A, B, and C.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we were on the second run of them and got in there. They said, hey, we're going to get pre-orders for them because they realized it was going to be a mega seller. And like I said, I get irritated by it. Like, I think the same thing because we talked about this before. Like you wanted a certain color, scheme for your analog. But like, why don't you give us the option, like make cases? Give us the case kit and let us just do our own fucking colors.
Yeah.
You still would have made a ton of money off of it. If you're giving us the exclusive ability to, like, if I can get a glow in the dark one, fuck it, I can just get the case. But I'm not doing that, and it just sucks. I hate it, and I hate bots. Bots are the other problem that we have.
Mm.
Bots destroy everything now. I'm so scared for Switch 2 because I'm probably not going to get it for like a decade because look how long it took the PlayStation to be in stock. Fucking like 3 years. 3 years it took. Because people were just selling them all over eBay. And I'm tired of like the reseller flippers on YouTube and stuff. Oh, well, you can make all this money by fucking sacrificing chicken pennies out of every fucking person on the internet. Because people don't know the rules. No one knows what the value is. Dude, the Portal, I checked this morning just to be curious. $500. Yeah, $500 that someone was buying it for. That's double plus 10%. And not including all the shipping money that they get and all they're not going to throw in a nice box. They're going to throw in a crappy box and send it on its way. Just dirty, man. And I hate it.
Yeah, it's super dirty. And people think that, like these resellers, they add nothing to the value, or they're doing nothing for the consumer. They're just getting in the way. They're making everything more expensive. And lining their own pockets. It's pure greed and bullshit. Like I fucking hate resellers, man.
I also hate that they try to make it seem like they're like this. They're like, I'm buying this, okay, and then I'm gonna get a nicer copy, and then I'm gonna sell my shitty copy to someone else for the same price, and then I don't have to charge anybody. I'm like, you're still doing something dirty. You're screwing someone else over based on their love for the game, and
Sure.
They want something nice too. So like, what's the big deal of it? It just sucks. FOMO sucks, and also limited editions kind of suck because you got to have room for limited editions. If I didn't have this room down here, I wouldn't have room to have that stuff. Same thing with your room. You know what I mean? You got rid of some of your limited editions because you wanted to get away from it. All right, next topic we're going to do is this is exclusively to Obara. I'm going to let him gush all over this game. This week, or last week, I'm sorry, I remember the dates, but Super Mario RPG came out. Nintendo did the impossible. They got this released. Could not believe this happened. I was very shocked that I saw Square's name on this because they would have to sign off on it. I'm wondering how much money they're getting for all this, or if they sold their rights to Nintendo for this. But what do you think about this? Because you were all hyped up. I was like, I'm not going to talk to Obara for like a week after this game comes out. So I would love to see your thoughts on Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, so I did. I played it for, gosh, I played like up until the first boss 3 different times because I played it for myself. I played it with my niece, and I played it with Natalie. Just so that they could all see it. Amazing game. It met my expectations. I wouldn't say exceeded my expectations because I do have a lot of notes when it comes to this game. In no particular order. And the one thing that a lot of people have harped on is like you start the game and it asks you like what difficulty level you want. So there's like a normal mode and an easy mode.
Breezy.
Yeah, breezy mode. I don't know why they bothered putting in the breezy mode because the normal mode is easy too.
True, but like for example, if I let Leland do it, play the actual Super Mario RPG, I think it's better for him to learn first and then up the difficulty for it.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. But I mean, well, what I wish is that they would have kept the same difficulty as the original, because like the balance was good in the Super Nintendo version. They ruined the balance in this one because they added all this stuff. Like they ramped up the damage that you do with your attacks. There's also splash damage that's done to surrounding enemies if you do perfect timing. You have triple attacks that you build up a meter for that weren't there in the original game. That's an extra amount of damage. And none of this was rebalanced. None of the gameplay, the core gameplay, was rebalanced to account for all of this stuff that was added. So all that being told, you don't have to like grind, which is a good thing. Grinding in RPGs isn't good, but you don't have to put any sort of thought into like preparing for a boss. I never once was in any sort of danger of dying to a boss, whereas like every single time I would play the Super NES one, yeah, it was a challenge. So yeah, like Punchinello, easy. Bowyer, super easy. It's super easy. There are special enemies that show up that actually give you frog coins. That wasn't in the original. So the frog coins were a limited resource in the Super NES one, whereas now you can actually just run into them randomly. You got the triple attacks, which I talked about. It's also easier now. I can't unknow things that I know from the original game. So now that I've already I'm playing the game and it's exactly the same as before, I know where everything is. I know what to do. So it's easy in that way too. Splash damage, combo meter, all the comedic time. What's that?
The combo meter is awesome. I like the cool, they went with the Squaresoft kind of big impact, thing. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but it gives you even more boosts to your attacks and everything. Like whenever you have really good timing for your blocks and attacks, If you build up this combo meter, then you actually get bonuses to your attacks. Yeah, dude. Like, I love that they added cutscenes. I love that all of the mini games are updated. It's just a gorgeous game.
It is
But
gorgeous.
and I love that it actually, like, gave me a reason to go back and play it again. Whereas, like, you kind of have to temper your expectations when you go back and play a game that you've got rose-colored glasses for. Mario RPG on the Super NES is one of those games that's just so beloved by everyone, but things don't really age as well because that's several generations ago. Whereas, back in the day, that was the cutting edge. What were your experiences? I've been rambling, but let's hear what you thought.
So I put in perspective of like Resident Evil 4. Okay, I was not a big fan at first. I played it and I enjoyed this game. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I didn't like obsessively enjoy it. It was interesting. It was cool, but I was like, it's not my thing. At the time I was like, I like 2D Mario. I don't know, and those kind of things like that. But it won me over for RPGs. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't a big RPG fan, but the Mario licensing was very genius on how they did it, and Square is just amazing with their RPGs. So it like sucked me in really good. But I treat it like the Resident Evil 4 remake, right? So they made, which I thought was cool. They brought 2D aspects into it. So like the world map was really cool. Like the whole world kind of thing. Like the it's in our background. So like all the cool things they did with it, that was pretty cool. I do enjoy breezy mode because I hate farming. I really do. And for me, it made it more enjoyable for me to kind of learn the gameplay aspects of it because I'm not a big RPG guy. Some people are just completely good experts at RPGs. So it's interesting to kind of figure out things and kind of like I joke like dip your feet in the pool. Is it cold? Is it hot? You just kind of enjoy it. The other thing I enjoyed was like I said, the humor was hilarious. Whoever wrote the script for it dude, I was cracking up so many times on some of the silly stuff that they were doing in the game. Like, Malo, like he cries and then it starts raining and stuff like that. Like I thought was hilarious. And then I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what if he gets mad? Does he start like a gigantic fireball, coming down, or volcanoes blowing up? It just made me laugh. I loved my favorite character so far is Gino because it's kind of cool that they incorporated Star Road, like gave a lore to Star Road, which I thought was pretty cool. Uh, Bowser, oh my god, the funniest person in the entire game. Him walking around and trying to hide his emotions from a Mario, like it's like they're like husband and wife, which is hilarious to me.
That game is what started my love affair with Bowser in the first place. Obviously, like in the history of Mario, he's just been a really one-dimensional, like, hey, I just antagonist where he steals the princess and you have to go and rescue and whatever, and he's got no personality. They gave him a personality in this one, and it's so good.
That's why I think it's funny, like with the Mario movie, like with Jet Black, it's like literally Jet Black's literally playing that role as him.
Yeah,
in RPG,
and this is where it all started. This is where they gave him that personality. So it's so good.
I want a poster of Bowser crying with his little tears going back and forth. That shit makes me laugh every time I see it. It's super funny. I also have my peeves, as you heard me this morning ranting about it. I hate isometric jumping. I hate it. I hate it in Mario 64. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. There's a part where you have to climb these shells. And I literally got so mad I deleted my file. Thank God I got a cloud save because I brought it back down afterwards. But man, I was hot mad. Yeah, I haven't been hot mad like this since Ninja Gaiden. The other thing I get upset about, and no offense to it, I understand that you want me to kind of explore the land, but at least tell me where the hell I need to go. Like, I told you, like, I was trying to find Monstro Town, and if I didn't talk to you, I would have really thought that one. So there's a pyramid where you go down, and it says, hey, you need a key. But you have to get the right. So they basically give you like a fortune, and the fortune has to be a certain thing. So if you don't know that, you're like, oh, this is the fortune. This is what you do when you go down. You can't figure out what the hell to do. So I was like baffledly confused about it, and I was like, I don't know, if I'm going to be able to finish it. So yeah, I talked to you, and you're like, hey, no, it's like this. I'm like, how did you know that? Like, how did you know that happened?
I just know it from the Super NES one.
So I was like baffledly confused, but I'm progressing. I still have 2 stars left on it. I made it to after I got off the phone with you. I made it to, was it Bean Valley? And then went to the clouds where Mallow, spoiler alert, Mallow is an actual prince. But what also made me laugh the most, they put that big crow in the thing and said it was Mallow. I fucking died laughing. I was like, this is, how do these people not know they're all clouds, but they're gonna like say this big crow is like their prince, which is super funny. I'm happy I got it. I love the visuals. The visuals are so beautiful. So beautiful. I think it's the best looking game on the Switch. I hate to say it, but it looks amazing. I would, after my anger got lifted, I would definitely say it's a 10 out of 10, all in the reflexes. I want to beat it. I'm going to keep progressing today since I have a long weekend, and happy I got it. And thank you for pushing me to death to get this, and giving it a second chance.
Yeah, there's some things that I won't talk about because it's still just a week from its release, and I don't want to spoil anything. But there are some things that were surprises to me. After I beat the game, there's some surprises for people who have played the game. So if you think it's just the same game, there's more to it, which is awesome.
There's also a special boss that I thought was not going to be in there because of licensing issues. But I was really shocked, and I wondered if they were going to pull that off, and I'm happy they did. Definitely go pick it up. Please support Mario RPG, because you never know if they'll give you a number 2 instead of the ones you got on the 64.
And no, a direct sequel would be insane.
Especially,
and maybe they're gauging interest. So yeah, make this thing sell like gangbusters, and let's do it. We forgot to do Night at the Movies, by the way, before all this.
Oh no, on my script I have it.
Next, sorry about that.
Next one, yeah.
Oh, good.
So speaking of that one, we Amara picked out a movie. It was Raphael from the Ninja Turtles' most hated movie ever. He like walks outside. It always makes me laugh. He's like, "Who makes this stuff?" And it's New Line, which is the company that made Ninja Turtles. So I thought it was hilarious. Critters 2. Please meet Harry. This movie is a total B movie. Some people enjoy it, some people hate it. I love it. I love their personalities. They got kind of a Gremlins personality to them, but they also make it like a horror movie. They have like quills that come out the side of them and attack. I didn't want them to watch 1 because 1, I knew he would probably go into it and be like, "Oh, this is horrible." But the second one is so over the top funny that I knew that he would enjoy it. So we started him with 2. So go ahead, Abara. Tell us about Critters 2.
Yeah, so I did enjoy the hell out of it. And I'm glad I took notes from the other week because, this is the second time I'm reviewing it. But it's not fresh in my mind anymore. I didn't go back and rewatch it, but I do have my notes from last time. So Brad, this the typical 80s kid, is the, I guess he was in the first one and had to deal with these critters, and no one believes him that they were real. So he comes back to town. They're like, "Oh, there's that kid, the kid who thinks that the critters are real." And then it turns out that like there's this big like group of critter eggs that were like gathering in, what was it, in a barn or something like that?
Well, so that's where they were hiding and attacked. But like, here's the funny thing about the first movie: they don't talk about any girl critters in the movie. You assume like they're all dudes. So I was like, I was baffledly confused how it makes me laugh because that's how typical 80s scripts go. They're like, they had babies, and it's always like the second movie. It's like they have babies, and then they're scary. So yeah,
one of them escaped. Oh no.
Yeah, one of them just hit out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know. Like I the first movie was, and this is honest truth, they were in one house the entire time. So
really?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh geez. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering how like an entire town would get amnesia, but I guess like not everyone in the town knew about the critters, just a few people.
Correct.
Okay. There were a few actors that like looked familiar. There was the asshole kid with the Jeep. I'm pretty sure I've seen him before in like other movies. I couldn't place him. Then there was like so the bounty hunters that are coming after these critters that were pretty awesome. I thought that they were going to be like bad guys that they were going to have to fight, but no, they're actually on the good guy team. And all of them are like faceless until they see something that they want to turn into. And the pilot of the like bounty hunter spacecraft, or wait, renegades, what do they call themselves?
I don't remember, but like one of the guys was from the original movie. He's an alcoholic, and he went with them because he wanted to get away from alcohol and be a hero. So he did that, and then the other two are just, I don't know, like they're just so over the top. It's so weird over the top.
So the first thing that he turns into, like there was just like a Playboy magazine that like came out of nowhere, and he like picks it up, and there's a centerfold, and it turns into this, Playboy model. So it's like the 80s excuse of like, oh, how are we going to fit in naked boobs into this? Oh, here we go. Playboy model.
The staple was hilarious. I was like, she pulled out the big staple, and I was like,
yeah.
What attention to detail. That's the only thing
I
was
that's
like, wow,
funny.
that's really impressive.
Funny.
Super funny.
From the centerfold. Yeah, that was funny.
And the other dude went like Fabio, right? I was trying to remember, like he did Fabio, right?
I don't
remember. He was like a big buff guy. He had like a pretty face and like long hair and stuff.
Yeah. And then let's see. That same one almost turned into Freddy Krueger at one point.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I thought that was actually going to happen. Like I'm like, oh yes.
What if it was like Robert Englund playing it? Though that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. At the very end, whenever they're they blow up the critters, and then the critters turn into that giant critter ball.
the Megazord of critters.
Yeah. They'll like combine into one giant ball of critters that are like running people over. I mean, like they're literally like rolling next to them in that Jeep, and then they're like smash into it, and then they're like, it was so stupid.
The other one I love is when he shoots.
But I love the special effects.
When he shoots the critter in the head and he knocks it. It looks like a toupee on his head.
Yes.
And then they were like ribbing him about his bald head and stuff, which I thought was fucking funny. And then the other one that like cussed when he was shooting at him, he was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like when I first, the funny one was I saw those HBO like free days. They showed all three back to back to back, and there's actually like I think there's 4 of them, like 4 different critter movies. One of them, Leonardo DiCaprio's intro of acting was in Critters 3, which is like crazy,
insane.
But I laughed at the ball too. The ball thing made me laugh when they run over to the people and they were like flat skeletons.
Yeah,
which was hilarious. But if it was me giving a rating, I would definitely give it a 5 all in the reflexes. It's 5's the highest, so I would definitely.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I'd buy that for $1.
So last week we chose our movie, and as you know, the ghost episode happened, and so we chose Batman Ninja Turtles. Now, please, this is just a little warning. Do not show your kids this.
It's like, my kid loves Batman. Oh, my kid loves Ninja Turtles. Let me show my kid this.
Guilty as charged. And Leland, the first scene was Shredder murdering somebody and cussing. And I was like, okay, I think you need to go upstairs now. Yeah, really, really dark cartoon. Really well done. It has like Ra's al Ghul and Shredder together, and then it has everyone from the Batman, Robin, Batgirl, all of them. You'll really enjoy this. It's just like Mortal Kombat if you want to get a little reference to it, the Mortal Kombat animated movie. So
yeah, okay.
You're definitely going to check this out. I would definitely, you're definitely going to enjoy this.
That's awesome.
We'll hear about it next week. All right. Last but not least, do reviews influence what you buy? And I brought this topic up to him earlier because I always and I hate to say it, I hate doing it, but like I go on Amazon and I look at the stupid reviews and I try to see if there's a real person writing something on there,
Mm.
like this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen or something like that. But with AI now and companies paying people to give reviews on things that are good so they can sell it, I thought this would be an interesting topic for us. And what do you think? Do you really think reviews influence you or people, or do you think that most people don't enjoy reviews? And this could be on anything, like like movies and things like like Siskel and Ebert and those type of things like that. What do you think about do reviews influence something that you want to get?
I think they do. And I mean, there's even a word for it. Influencers. People are professional influencers to influence people to buy or try certain products or whatever. And we have this same phenomenon in video games. So I mentioned earlier that John Hancock, we had sent him Eagle Island Twist and Love 3, and he gave us glowing reviews. Now, does that mean that he only gave us glowing reviews because we gave him free stuff and he wants more free stuff in the future? Who's to say? But knowing it's all in the reputation and all in the track record of the person that you're listening to, that influencer. If it's a brand new influencer and you know that they're obviously out for just money and getting free stuff, then take that into account. Not everything is going to be their favorite. If they say something is amazing, like every single time they get a free thing and they're not truthful about or critical about anything that they get, then that should be a red flag to you.
Of
But
course.
John Hancock has a pretty good track record of actually saying critical things if there are things to be said. So whenever I saw his video and saw that he had glowing things to say about Premium Edition and the work that we do, it was super flattering because I knew that it was genuine and it came from the heart.
He loves it though.
Yeah. No,
I also
it's
want to say
awesome.
something. I also want to say something for John Hancock, just to say this to you. I wish nothing but the best for you and your wife. I know you had a lot of things,
Yeah,
personal things
that's
going on,
mhm.
and I will always support you. If you ever need to talk, I'm not friends with him, but if you ever need just to BS about something, I'm always here for you. And I think he's one of the most genuine people in the world. I every time I see him, he's really nice, very cordial. He is an Eagles fan. I can't accept that, but I do think he's an awesome person, and I hope everything works out for you and your family. You are the highest caliber of standard of things, and I definitely appreciate watching your videos, even
Yeah,
through a hard
and
time like that.
and that comes with the track record. Like he's had a history of just being an amazing person and a really genuinely good person. So an influencer like that has opinions, negative or positive, should be taken not with a grain of salt. I mean, like it should be taken at face value and actually cherished. Like find those influencers out there, find those reviewers out there that actually know what they're talking about, and that aren't just out to enrich themselves through this process.
Can
um
I show you one that I absolutely hate the most that I
sure.
hear all the time? So there was a come and go one I saw on Instagram, and they were calling themselves passenger princesses. So they basically just get a dude, right? And they go around gas stations and they basically sample stuff. And this is how they sound. I'm gonna push my girl voice on for a second. And they were like,
oh my god, this freaking thing is so awesome. I'm with this guy, and he took me to come and go, and they gave me all the nicest stuff in the world. They're the sweetest people in the world. Oh my god, I gotta go there. You gotta go there. Blah 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 blah. And it drives me insane, insane. I hate those people that do that. I hate that little girl voice. Like, oh my god, I went to the shop and they were so great. It reminds me of the mall girls from the '90s. I just can't stand it. It just drives me crazy. Those influencers drive me nuts. I cannot stand it. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Drives me insane every time I hear them. When my wife has it on, this is what I do every time. I just like cold stare like this. Like, please turn that off. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, don't forget to turn off your girl voice.
Is my girl voice still on? Hey girl.
Yep. Oh man, I think you're muted now.
Back. Hello.
Nope, girl voice.
Male voice? Hello?
That's deep voice.
What is going on? It is so funny. You're supposed to be able to push it off. Is it better now?
Nope, deep voice.
What the hell? Well, fuck it. I'm going to talk like this the entire time.
No, please don't.
He's a man, such a man. I thought you pushed the button and it turns off. What the hell? This is the kind of fun stuff we do here today.
Technical difficulties, folks.
Typical puberty. Let's see here. I can't believe I did that.
Is that better?
There you go. Now you're back to normal.
Now, dude, okay, the box I have, it doesn't say off. It says pro. How do I know that's what's supposed to happen? Yeah, it's so dumb.
Weird.
And you guys got a little context in there. I do believe the same thing you do. I do believe that influencers do work that. I'm sorry, I'm giggling because I can't imagine you listening to that girl voice with me being angry. Oh my god, it's probably
it's funny. It's funny.
Sound like a wife. But I get irritated with people that go for free things. They're not here to help you. They're just here to give free things. And if I'm given something, like if someone gives me something and they're like, hey, you should definitely check this out, I'm going to give it every diligence to check it out and be as completely honest and transactional as possible. I get it. You're getting something from a company and they expect all positivity all the time. But like, I'll say this. It was I can't think of his name. He's from Arizona. And he always does the Chinese knockoffs and he just crucifies them. And he crucifies them in a complete honesty, like, these are terrible. Why would they do these things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really funny. And then, like, one of them, he said that they told him to take it down. And he was like, kick rocks. You told me to review it. And I'm going to review it the way that I want to review it. It's my right. And so I think that's awesome that he does those things.
Yep.
But I also get mad at movies and IGN. I'll say it. I don't like IGN. So the whole joke that everyone does on IGN is that if they don't get paid, they don't do good reviews. Dude, they crucified and Metacritic crucified RPG. Crucified it. And I'm like, there's no way that's not a 9 or a 10. At least a 9.
Yeah.
I could not believe they crucified it the way they did. They gave it a 6.3.
Wow, what?
6.3 on Metacritic.
Okay.
And what happens is, what Metacritic doesn't explain to you, it's like Rotten Tomatoes. You review something and someone's like, good, shitty, good. And it affects the percentages of it. Mm-hmm. So when you're a person that doesn't know, you're like, wow, 63, that's terrible. I don't want to buy that.
Yeah.
And video game companies are obsessed with Metacritic. Like, they're not like big people. I don't understand it. And what drives me nuts is, like, what happened to the perspective of you reviewing your own things? We had Nintendo games, right? We opened Nintendo games and we either got what? A shitty game or a good game. But guess what? We had to keep playing it because we bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think everyone's got their ew, well, this movie's not so great and I don't think you should watch it because I don't like it. It's perspective. Like, you like say for example, we'll talk about Kurt Russell. I'm a big Trouble in Little China fan. You're Hateful Eight. And we like our own different versions of it, different flavors, but we both enjoy the same actor. So what's the difference in the reviews? You know, we all have something that's different, but that's my whole mindset on reviews. What do you think is the worst type of reviews that you see out there?
Yeah, and even with Metacritic, like you were saying, like, I'll expand on that a little bit more because Metacritic has a couple scores. They have the scores that they take from the professionals like IGN, and then they have the user scores, which you should actually pay attention to. Unless, and this has happened in the past where people review bomb. They'll like, you know, take offense to some political stance that maybe the developer or the publisher took, and then the masses will exact revenge on the game by review bombing it into oblivion, so that, you know, people who only look at those scores to purchase their games will see the score and then walk away because it got a 2 or whatever, you know. So be cognizant of that too, that there may be like external circumstances going on with a review.
I also assume cancel culture. I'll tell you an example that just came up. I don't know if you've ever been on Instagram, but this Matt Rife guy, this comedian, he's like all over the place. He's a pretty boy. He's got comedy and stuff like that. He's very popular. He's got kind of a Dane Cook thing going on. Not saying he's Dane Cook, but this made me laugh so hard, and I thought it's the best thing I've ever seen done. So he made a joke about domestic violence, but it wasn't that. It was he said he went to Baltimore, which I'm from, and I kind of understand what he was saying. He said this girl had a black eye. Okay, now I'm not condoning domestic violence like that, and he made a joke where he's like, he saw her and he's like, well, I'm kind of glad she's not in the kitchen because she probably makes terrible food, and that was the whole premise of the joke. It's not proper, I get it. But what was really funny that he did was when they were trying to cancel him, he said, if you got any problems with me, send it to my link. And when you click on the link, it was a special handicap helmet that he had there. So he did that, and it was hilarious. I laughed my ass off. I mean, he stood his ground. A lot of people don't do that anymore. And a lot of people are being like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. I hate reviews. If I'm gonna get something, I joke around. I saw Jason X. Okay, everyone destroyed the movie. I thought it was hilarious. A Terminator Jason. I lost a date to that. I had either a date or go to Jason X, and I went to Jason X, and I loved every minute of it. It was great to see in the movie. It was cheesy and dumb. Loved it. Screw reviews. Please, take your own influence yourself. Test something out. Take your foot and put your foot in the water, like I said. Either hot or cold. If you don't like it, take your foot out. You're muted.
Hey, those of you on thank you. Those of you on YouTube, I'm doing a terrible job with the tracker this episode. So forgive me for being several minutes late every single time we change topics. I just, I don't know. It's been a weird week.
We've been having. So you have to think about the week that we had. We've been both fucking sick as a dog.
Yeah.
We both ghosted this last one, and I thought it was our. I hate to say it, I thought it was our worst scenario ever because we were just not going on topic. We were going on tangents. We didn't do anything we were supposed to be doing correctly. I forgot stuff, and I'm not gonna forget it this time. Your retrospective game, and I did it again. Is going to be Time Spinner. Have you ever played this?
I've never even heard of it.
This is like Castlevania, but instead of whips, you got these little crystal balls that you use. You go through different aspects of time.
Okay.
And it's either like the olden days or futuristic, cyberpunk type of stuff. So this is your game for the week for the retrospective, and then also we have to talk about the game that we both did this last couple weeks, so we don't forget.
What did you play? I can't even remember.
Left 4 Dead 2, Heavy Rain, right. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Left 4 Dead sucks without multiplayer. I need a dude on the thing. I should have invited you over and just play it with you, and I would have had a lot more fun.
It's so much fun, man.
I fucking hate, and I hate this. I hate the smokers. I hate the witches. Yeah. And then I hate the dude that slimes you where 100 fucking zombies come on you.
Boomers.
The boomers fucking hit me every fucking 5 feet that I fucking went on there. And I would shoot these dudes. I'm like, all right, I got them. And then another dude on the side would get me. I made it. Very, very, I almost didn't make it the entire way. The rain thing was a pretty cool aspect to it where you couldn't see enemies and stuff like that.
I love that particular level for that reason. It's so crazy.
And I always liked the thing I love about it. It's got kind of like an 80s action movie feel because everyone does all those one-liners. Yeah, and I've always loved that. And I love when you go into the safe zones and they're they make some kind of funny little joke. But I miss online Left 4 Dead. I really do. It's such a fun game. I actually bought it when I went deployed on a laptop and I had the same reaction to it because I was like, I want to play it. and just wasn't fun without people playing. I had to hook another controller up to have someone play on a split screen with me to enjoy it. But of course, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 all on the reflexes. That one I didn't even know that it existed. You opened a new map for me that I didn't know about, so definitely appreciate it.
It's a good one.
How about you, sir?
I played Nightmare on Elm Street for the NES.
Did you like the chip tunes? Did you like the Freddy chip tune?
So the chip tunes, the Freddy chip tunes. Oh, which by the way, Natalie hates. She was like, "This is so shrill." I'm like, "Yes, I know. It's NES. There's nothing I can do about it." But so very first thing, like, you know, the NES, the games like that, usually they'll give you like a weird weapon to use, like a yo-yo or maybe a cane or I don't know, something, a boomerang. No, in this one, you punch everything in the face.
Well, that's how you start out, but then
you start out. It's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. But yeah, so like, hey, there's a snake, punch it in the face. Hey, there's a fly, punch it in the face. You're like punching insects.
It's great.
It's the stupidest shit ever.
How about the jump? How about the jumps right though that you do?
Oh, so it's not as bad as I remember it to be. But it's not as bad as Castlevania because you can actually like redirect your jump in midair. Yeah. I did like that about that. But I hate that you have to like pay attention to that stupid sleep meter the entire time. And then you have to collect what was it that you collect and everything? Bones? Yeah, bones.
You have to collect Freddy's bones so you can burn them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a frustrating game, and yeah, I remember the fact that like some doors weren't open at certain times or whatever. So I was really just like running around confused.
Yeah. So it's based on Dream Warriors, which is part 3, and then I think it's mostly drawn on Dream Warriors because I don't know if you ever seen the movie, but the original girl from the original movie,
I never have.
She teaches them how to be warriors in their dreams, how they can control their dreams. So they get one guy's a dork and he makes himself a wizard. There's one girl that's like a punk rocker and she like has like knives and stuff. And there's another guy that's like a strong man, he's like the Hulk. He like crush things and stuff. Nice. So they like do all these little aspects. By the way, which is funny, there was no ninja in the game, and there's no track star, which I thought was hilarious. They just made that up. The thing I laugh at is I love the chip tune, like Freddy's coming for you. And then it basically like it makes it like a it's so stupid. It's like it's like a Mortal Kombat thing. It's like fight, and then like you just fight Freddy.
Yeah, that surprised me. I didn't remember that.
And whatever. What's crazy about it is that game is a 4-player game. It's like one of the first 4-player games on the Nintendo NES. You can play with 4 people in that game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer game, which is wild. But dude, trying to play with 4 people in that game with all those game mechanics, you know how horrible that's gonna be.
Are they all on the screen at the same time?
Yes.
Oh,
yep, it was one of the first 4-score games.
Crazy. So the game. Yeah, the game that I have for you next week.
A question block?
Yeah, you hear that. So you have to play the crash mode in Burnout Revenge.
Yes! I have that game too. Oh, I love that game. You guys suggested that to me a long time ago. Crash mode is like, I love all the points things when they show you how much shit you damaged.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna probably have Leland play for you and do a video of him.
Oh yeah, that's great. He'll have a blast. Yeah, you just run your car into traffic and see how much mayhem you can ensue.
Oh, wait a minute! I can get Melissa to do it since she's.
No, no, I'm not touching that one.
Oh, she's an expert at that one.
I'm not touching that one.
Check that one out.
If you're breaking up, I didn't hear you.
Your landing gear is down. I repeat, your landing gear is down.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. last but not least, corrections. I want to give our first correction to. Sorry, you did not get to see the Ghost episode, or AKA, I'm gonna call it I'm gonna title it the train wreck.
It's whatever. Every once in a while, we just have to
yeah.
entertain ourselves.
Well, it's funny because this is the second time it happened. The first time we did it, if you don't know context of this, you just joined the show. We recorded an episode that didn't record.
Yeah, we talked for an hour and change, and I forgot to hit the record button.
And it was we laughed
like a
so hard
genius move.
Real man of genius. Today we salute you, Mr. Recording Guy that doesn't record things. Mr. Recording Guy that doesn't record things. Oh, shit. Budweiser, bring those back.
Oh, man. Dying.
So, hey, we are not like, we're not podcasters by trait. We just kind of trying to figure out how it goes. I think we do a great show.
We're just having fun here.
So like, just like our team, some days we have good days and some days we just have really, really bad days. Like last night at Turkey Day. Oh my God. So mad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you want to go on your commander's diatribe?
Yeah, I want to do a correction too. I want to correct whoever is running my team. Okay. I'm a Washington Commanders fan. I'm going to want to hear your comments. Yesterday I got flooded with Cowboys fans just wrecking me. Let me explain something to you. I've had 20 years. I was there when they won, and I ain't trying to be like a Cowboys fan. Like I was with them when they won, and I like them. Listen, Dallas Cowboys fans, I'm gonna say this, and I'm being real. You're not from Dallas. You don't even live in Dallas. How do you support a team that you don't live in? And the funny thing is, you fucking run your mouth when you win, but when you lose, you want to act like you don't exist, like you're on your own Dallas Cowboy island. So last night we lost 45-10. 45-10. Our defense can't touch anything, but I'm gonna go down the history timeline. 20 years of crap. Literally poop coming out the pipes on our fans. Poop, real poop, like poop falling on fans when someone flushed the toilet. No, they didn't pay their heating bill, so they had no hot water when they take showers. No shit that our team doesn't want to play fairly with anybody because they're having the shittiest stadium and thing. We get Magic Johnson of all people. We're gonna change this around. We're gonna spice this thing up. And literally, it took them to this week to fire Jack Del Rio. Jack Del Rio has been horrible for the last 3 years, and everyone's wanted his head on a sling. Now, by the way, Ron Rivera's going to run defense. And by the way, he hasn't ran defense in 6 years. 6 years. And then on top of that, I've had so many crazy things happen with them. Every game that gets shown to America is us just wrecked. Just getting wrecked to the cleaners. Next, I don't know who they are. One day they're fucking killing people. Next day, they're just shit in the bed. 0 NFC East wins. They lost to the Giants. The Giants are worse than us, by the way. Worse than us and made them look like Super Bowl contenders. With a quarterback that literally was sleeping on his mom's bed and feeding him chicken cutlets because they're poor. That's a true fact. Fix it. I'm so tired. I'm not wearing their gear. I'll watch the game, but they're not getting gear on until I see at least 6 or 7 wins. I want 7 wins before I put on any of your stuff. I am not buying your stuff. I almost bought that championship belt. I was really excited to get a pay up, and I was like, I'm going to get that belt, and I'm going to show these Cowboys fans how we're champions. And guess what? I am not touching that belt. That belt is false. There's nothing a championship with that team. Nothing. I hate you right now. Hate that you treat me like this. I feel like I'm in a bad girlfriend relationship, and I just can't get out of it. I'm like, she's going to change. She's going to be better. She's going to do the right things. And all she does is shit on me all the time. Just shit. Literally. They literally shit on you. They shit on their fans at their stadium. By the way, one more thing. We don't even have fans. The entire fan base is other fans being in our stadium. with two dudes that like I'm loyal to them, I'm sticking with them, and then around them is like Giants come in all blue, Eagles come in all green, Cowboys dark blue everywhere, and stupid stars.
It's like
you gotta fix this.
It's like Major League too with the Indians fans.
Yes,
he's like they'll blow it in the playoffs. You know, like,
that's how I feel. Like if we went to the playoffs, I'd be like, we're out. Because think about it, like Eagles are an elite team, and we fucking threw them to the wall. We threw them to the wall, and then we come back and we play Dallas and the Giants, and we fucking shit the bed.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. I know this is a middle-aged gamer thing, but damn it, I was young and now middle-aged, and they haven't won since that time. I was literally 10 years old. I am now 40. I am 40, and now they still suck. Still suck. Yeah. We're a joke. Stop it.
My Giants aren't as cursed as the my adoptive team, the Commanders, but they put out. Anytime they make a major change like this, a professional sports team will put out a statement by the CEO or president or whatever to the fans apologizing. I'm sorry, we're just as disappointed as you are, blah, 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 blah. They did that today after firing the defensive coordinator. And it reminded me of the Giants after their disappointing season this year because they did the same thing. All the fans got, instead of going to the playoffs, is this disappointment letter. Like, we're going to do better. We're going to do all that we can to improve. And, you know, like, just, I hear you. I get that you're trying, but make good on that promise, please.
Here's the thing I have a problem with. I don't like, and that's why I got mad about the letter today, and that's why all the things I just said I wrote in my post, and I actually hashtag Magic Johnson because I want him to hear it, because he seems like the only one that cares. At least he writes on there like, wow, that's pretty shitty. That's a real shitty thing that he just did. But here's my problem. If you know that the coach is bad and the culture's bad, get them out of here. I'd rather have Bellamy that, you know, like, he's not a coach, but let's see what he can do. I don't want to. Here's the thing. I respect Ron Rivera. He was a military family. He defeated cancer. Really, really solid dude. But he hasn't had a winning season in 8 years.
Yeah.
And he went to the Super Bowl, by the way, and bombed against Peyton Manning. That was like 112 years old. He had Cam Newton. And ruined his career too. It's just wild. We love all you guys. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. I keep forgetting the Apple portion of it. Like, I'm not an Apple guy. I'm all Android, so I apologize. I'm on GI Gamer 1981 on Instagram and Facebook. My next review will be on Spider-Man 2. I just got to fix the voice thing, and then I will be doing that video. I did do RoboCop, so please enjoy that. Do you got anything to plug for Premium Edition Games or your book?
Yeah, I'll just say again, Premium Edition Games is running a Black Friday sale right now. Details are on the website. So premiumeditiongames.com. Go there. We've got a ton of good games. I obviously I'm a shill for the company because I'm a graphic designer, so I'm biased, but they really are good games. Like, we don't really put them out. Games. We don't work on them unless we want to put them out, and we want them to represent us. So we got that, and then vgcollectorguide.com. I'm always working on my book. I'm actually on pace to finish my book in the next few weeks. So I'm going to put a bow on it and send it off to the printer and get them all shipped and whatnot next, like in the next, I don't know, I'm shooting for like April time frame. But in the meantime, if you're a collector of a certain, system like PlayStation 2 or Xbox 360, like he's got there, you can get this notebook style guide so that you can go through your own collection and check them off one by one. I did a comprehensive job on doing this. I mean, painstaking is an understatement. Painstaking.
what you don't realize is the passion into it. Like even down to the context of the spiral for the colors of the books. That's attention to detail. And the one thing I know about him is that he's very attention to detail oriented. He makes sure like that. He even talks to collectors to ensure that he has the most correct data as he can. So please support him. These books are awesome. I love just even sitting on my thing and reading about them. I found games in here that I didn't even know existed. So please support his website. Do you have the website for it?
Yeah, it's vgcollectorguide.com.
Please support you guys. Have a great Black Friday weekend. I hope you enjoy all your cool sales and whatnots. I am not going to any store at all. That is also a correction.
Same.
I'm not worth. It's not worth a discount for Sonic or any kind of game. I'm sorry. I'm out. I'm going to sit at home, spend time with my family, especially my little boy Lucas. I hope he feels better. He had to get his tooth pulled today, so I felt bad for him. So I'm going to spend some time with family, and we're also going to watch Jingle All the Way. So it's time for them to get the cool Christmas movies. Home Alone is today, Jingle All the Way, and I think what was the other one that I ruined? The Will Ferrell one, Elf.
Oh, Elf, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Hope you guys have a nice week. Please enjoy your families. Make sure to give thanks. And also, military guys out there that are stuck overseas, I am thankful for you and your sacrifices. It sucks that you're not with your family, but please enjoy the time you have off. See you guys next week. See you then. Bye.
Later, guys.